Deep in the heart of the Serengeti, where the grasslands rolled like waves under the endless blue skies, there was an ancient tale whispered from village to village. It spoke of a strange being known as the rabbit-eared sage, a man with long, soft rabbit ears who appeared only during the Christmas season. The sage was said to possess extraordinary wisdom and the ability to grant one Christmas wish, but only to those who approached him with pure hearts. Most dismissed the story as a children's fable, but some swore they had seen him, a figure cloaked in a woven robe, his ears twitching as if they heard the secrets of the world. In a small village on the edge of the savannah lived 3 brothers. Omari, the eldest, was proud and greedy. Jabari, the middle brother, was envious and cunning, and Quito, the youngest, was kind but often overlooked. Their parents had passed away, leaving them a modest farm, which the 2 older brothers often neglected while Quito worked tirelessly. As Christmas approached, the brothers heard whispers of the rabbit-eared sage appearing near their village. Omari saw this as a chance to wish for wealth, Jabari for power, and Quito secretly hoped to ask for guidance to heal his struggling farm. The 3 set out together to find the sage, but their motives could not have been more different. After days of travel, the brothers found the sage sitting beneath a great baobab tree. His ears twitched as they approached, and his voice was soft yet commanding. "I have heard your footsteps for many miles," he said. "Speak your wish, and I shall grant it, if your heart is pure." Omari stepped forward and declared, "I wish for endless riches, so I may never work again." The sage's ears twitched, and he shook his head. "Greed blinds your heart. I cannot grant your wish." Jabari stepped forward next, saying, "I wish to rule over all the villages of the savannah." The sage frowned. "Power sought for selfish gain leads to ruin. I cannot grant your wish." Finally, Quito hesitated, but then knelt before the sage. "I wish for wisdom to care for my land and help my people," he said humbly. The sage's ears twitched and he smiled. "Your wish is pure, but before I grant it, you must complete a task." The sage explained the task. The brothers must cross the savannah to a distant hill where a tree of golden fruit grew. Each must bring back a single fruit to the sage. But along the way, they would face 3 trials. Only those who acted with generosity and humility would succeed. As they began the journey, the trials appeared one by one. First, they encountered a starving lion cub caught in a thorn bush. Omari ignored it, claiming it was a waste of time. Jabari tried to free it, but gave up quickly when the thorns scratched him. Quito, however, carefully removed the thorns and shared his food with the cub, which followed him gratefully. Next, they came across a dry riverbed where a desperate traveller begged for water. Omari scoffed and walked on, while Jabari gave the traveller a single sip, keeping the rest for himself. Quito shared all his water, even though it meant thirsting himself. Finally, near the golden tree, they found a woman crying. She said she had lost her way and could not climb the hill alone. Omari pushed past her, and Jabari offered to help, only if she gave him something in return. Quito carried her on his back up the hill, though he was already exhausted. When they reached the tree, Omari and Jabari grabbed the largest fruits greedily, but Quito chose a smaller fruit and gave it to the woman, saying, "You need this more than I." When the brothers returned to the sage, he inspected their fruits. Omari's fruit turned to ash in his hands, and Jabari's crumbled into dust. Only Quito's remained whole, glowing softly. The sage smiled. "Quito, your selflessness has proven your heart's purity. Your wish shall be granted." The sage placed a hand on Quito's head, and a warm light enveloped him. When it faded, Quito felt a surge of understanding and strength. He returned to his village, using his newfound wisdom to transform the barren farm into a thriving haven. He shared his harvest with the community, becoming beloved by all. As for Omari and Jabari, they learned humility by working alongside Quito, who forgave their selfishness and taught them the value of generosity. A final heartwarming scene of Quito in his lush farm, surrounded by villagers laughing and sharing food. The rabbit-eared sage watches from afar, his silhouette barely visible against the sunrise. In the distance, Omari and Jabari work in the fields. Their expressions change to ones of humility and gratitude.